If you are over 60, you already know the two biggest threats to your long-term independence are a failing gut and dangerously high blood pressure. What if I told you that the food you eat almost every single day, thinking you're making a healthy choice, is actively and silently damaging both? This isn't about sugar or white flour. This is about a type of bread that sits in your pantry right now, labeled with words like natural and whole grain. This bread is loaded with a hidden ingredient that sends your blood pressure soaring and a type of fiber that irritates your gut lining, causing daily bloating and inflammation. If you eat sandwiches, toast, or toast with your eggs, you must stop until you know what that bread is, because it's secretly sabotaging every healthy choice you make. You made the responsible decision years ago, right? You cut out white bread because you knew it spiked your blood sugar, and you switched to whole wheat because the bag said fiber and healthy grain. You did exactly what you were told to do. But here's the devastating truth. The whole grain loaf you buy at the major supermarket is often a marketing disguise. The way modern commercial wheat is processed and the long list of synthetic additives used means this bread is just as problematic, if not more problematic, for an aging gut and sensitive arteries. I'm talking about what leading functional medicine doctors who specialize in geriatric gut health warn their patients about. The first secret danger in that bread isn't the grain. It's a hidden ingredient that is actively shooting your blood pressure through the roof, and you need to look for it. The innocent loaf of bread that is silently damaging your gut and blood pressure is not white bread. It is the commercial whole wheat bread you buy wrapped in plastic at the major grocery store. I know that sounds wrong. But when you see whole grain, your body sees three dangerous things hiding inside that label. First, a massive, hidden dose of sodium, often 350 to 450 milligrams in just 2 slices. That sodium is a direct line to spiking your blood pressure. Second, inflammatory oils and hidden sugars added to make the dense flour palatable. Third, modern wheat, which is processed to be hyper-fortified, containing high levels of phytic acid. All these ingredients combine to cause a silent, low-grade inflammation inside your body, which is the root cause of high blood pressure, gut pain, and nearly every chronic disease. You must look at the nutrition label, but you need to know exactly which hidden numbers and ingredients are betraying your health. Here is the single biggest reason this bread is a silent killer for your arteries. When you are watching your blood pressure, your doctor tells you to avoid salt shakers and canned soup, right? And that's wise. One bowl of soup might contain 300 milligrams of sodium. But what your doctor often forgets to mention is the bread. 2 slices of many popular whole wheat breads can secretly add another 400 milligrams of sodium to your meal. You were worried about the soup, but the bread you ate with the soup was the real killer. That's nearly a third of your entire recommended daily sodium intake, hidden in 2 simple slices. This high hidden sodium intake forces your body to retain water, constricting your blood vessels and actively keeping your blood pressure dangerously elevated. This is why reading the label isn't enough. You need the specific number to look for, which we cover next. So, what is the life-saving number you need to look for when you buy bread? This is the secret to protecting your blood pressure. For any bread to be considered genuinely safe for high blood pressure, you must ensure that a single slice contains no more than 100 milligrams of sodium. That means your 2-slice sandwich should hit a maximum of 200 milligrams. Most commercial whole wheat loaves exceed this number by 50 to 100% per slice. Take your time in the store and check the label. If it says 180 milligrams per slice, put it down. That tiny number is the difference between a controlled blood pressure reading and one that sends you back to the doctor. But sodium is only half the problem. The other half is a type of fiber in this bread that is silently tearing up your gut. Now let's bust the biggest myth on that bread bag, the claim of high fiber for healthy digestion. That high fiber label that promised healthy digestion? For an aging gut, it often works backward, causing the very bloating and painful irritation it promises to fix. Here's why modern wheat fiber is often the gut's enemy. The rigid, sharp strands of fiber in commercially milled wheat can be very abrasive to an already sensitive or weakened gut lining. While fiber is good, this highly processed form acts less like a broom and more like an irritant, causing inflammation and slowing transit time. Ugh, if you constantly feel bloated, gassy, or suffer from regular stomach pain after a sandwich, this whole wheat bread is the prime suspect. You've been feeding your gut the exact thing that's making it sick. This constant low-grade irritation is actually a major stepping stone to a condition called leaky gut, which is far more serious than just stomach pain. This constant irritation from the processed grain leads directly to a condition called leaky gut. Imagine your gut lining as a fine mesh screen that only lets digested nutrients through. When you constantly irritate it with that abrasive fiber and harsh additives, the mesh breaks down, and tiny particles of undigested food and toxins leak into your bloodstream. This sets off your immune system, triggering chronic systemic inflammation. And that inflammation is what causes the unexplained body aches, joint pain, and brain fog you might be feeling. So that whole wheat toast isn't just giving you a stomach ache, it's triggering pain throughout your entire body. But wait, what about all the vitamins and minerals that whole grain is supposed to give you? This is where the whole grain itself actively works against you. Now, the final defense of that bread. But the bag says it has vitamins and minerals. It's whole grain, so it's nutritious. That is true, but here is the irony that saves your health. The very mechanism that makes the whole grain whole is secretly robbing your body of those promised nutrients. The grain kernel contains something called phytic acid, or phytate. Phytic acid is nature's way of storing phosphorus, but when you consume it, it binds tightly to essential minerals, minerals like zinc, iron, and calcium, right in your gut. So the iron in your steak, the zinc in your nuts, and the calcium you take for your bones are all being grabbed by this component in the whole wheat bread and escorted right out of your body before you can absorb them. You're paying extra for a healthy product that is actively causing deficiency. But there is one particular mineral at greatest risk that leads to a frightening diagnosis for seniors. While blocking iron and zinc absorption is problematic, for seniors, the biggest concern with phytic acid in commercial whole wheat bread is its impact on calcium. You are taking calcium supplements, maybe drinking milk, and trying to protect your bones from fracture, right? The phytic acid in that bread is actively binding to that ingested calcium and flushing it out of your system. It's like taking 2 steps forward with your supplement, then 3 steps back with your toast. This silent mineral theft directly contributes to low bone mineral density and accelerates your risk of osteopenia and osteoporosis. You could be eating the healthiest diet in the world, but if you're eating this bread, you are putting a lock on your stomach, preventing your body from absorbing the very nutrients it needs to keep your bones strong and your body healthy. This is why you must stop eating it. But if you can't quit bread entirely, you need our 2 life-saving strategies. Since stopping bread completely is unrealistic for most of us, we need a safety strategy. The first rule to protect your gut and blood pressure is the 5-ingredient rule. When you look at the ingredient list on the back of any bread bag, it should contain no more than 5 ingredients. Think flour, water, salt, yeast, and maybe a little oil. If you see a list of 15 or 20 items with words like datum, mono and diglycerides, potassium bromate, or high fructose corn syrup, put the bread down immediately. Those long chemical lists are the irritants that cause your gut inflammation and contribute to the hidden sodium and sugar bombs. This rule instantly eliminates 90% of the dangerous commercially processed whole wheat breads on the market. But even if you find a good, simple loaf, there's one trick you need to use to neutralize the phytic acid. Even if you find a loaf that passes the 5-ingredient rule, it still contains phytic acid, which steals your essential calcium and iron. So here is the trick that neutralizes it: the freezing and toasting rule. Research shows that slicing bread and then freezing it immediately slows down the absorption rate of starches and sugars when you eat it. When you toast that frozen slice, it further alters the resistant starches, making the bread far less likely to cause a dramatic blood sugar or insulin spike. It also slightly reduces the immediate irritancy of the fiber. So your actionable tip is this: buy a good loaf, slice it up, freeze it, and only eat it toasted. This is your best effort defense, but you must know that the ultimate solution is switching to 2 specific types of bread that are genuinely gut-friendly and low in sodium. Here is the most motivating part. When you remove this toxic commercial whole wheat bread and apply the 5-ingredient rule, the positive results start almost instantly. Within a week, you'll notice a dramatic reduction in that nagging, bloating, gas, and stomach pain you thought was normal. Your digestive system finally calms down. And because you've cut out 400 milligrams of hidden sodium from your daily routine, you will start seeing your blood pressure numbers trend lower on your home monitor. Imagine less joint pain, a flatter stomach, and a healthier heart, all by making one smart switch in the bread aisle. This is how powerful food is. You don't have to suffer silently. But since you need a guilt-free bread option, let's look at 2 alternatives that are safe for your gut and safe for your arteries. You absolutely deserve a delicious sandwich or toast that won't ruin your gut or your blood pressure. So, when you walk past the toxic commercial whole wheat, here are 2 genuinely safe alternatives. First, look for sourdough bread. Traditional, slow-fermented sourdough is fantastic because the long fermentation process naturally breaks down much of the irritating gluten and, crucially, neutralizes the phytic acid we discussed. This makes it much easier to digest and ensures you actually absorb the minerals. Second, look for sprouted grain breads like Ezekiel bread. These breads are made from grains that have been allowed to sprout, which transforms them from starches into vegetables. The sprouting process dramatically reduces the phytic acid and makes the grain much more nutrient available and easily digestible. Swap your current loaf for one of these and you solve the gut, sodium, and phytic acid problem all at once. But before you switch, you need one final urgent warning. Before you click away, I must give you one final crucial warning. The biggest danger of that commercial whole wheat bread isn't the single slice, it's the chronic inflammation it causes every single day. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is the fuel for heart disease, Alzheimer's, and type 2 diabetes. Every time you choose that toxic loaf, you are intentionally feeding the inflammation that drives those devastating chronic illnesses. You can control your destiny right now. The choice to switch your bread is the choice to starve that dangerous inflammation and build a body that protects you for decades. Now, let's quickly summarize the 2 simple rules you must follow starting today. To defeat the hidden danger in your pantry and reclaim control over your gut and blood pressure, you need one final review. Here are the 3 critical rules that give you the power to protect yourself. 1. Cut the commercial. Stop buying whole wheat bread wrapped in plastic that contains a long list of ingredients. 2. Check the sodium. For any bread you buy, ensure a single slice has no more than 100 milligrams of sodium to protect your arteries. 3. Make the switch. Replace your current loaf with traditional sourdough or sprouted grain bread to dramatically reduce gut irritation and maximize nutrient absorption. Follow these 3 rules, and you will immediately begin starving the chronic inflammation that fuels serious disease. You've earned the right to live healthy and independently. If this video finally gave you the power to defeat the silent threats of high blood pressure and gut pain, then please do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon right now. That way, you won't miss our next Urgent Health video where we reveal another common food that is secretly sabotaging your health. Specifically, we look at a common cooking oil, the one you use to saute your eggs every morning, that is directly responsible for causing systemic inflammation and damaging your heart health. You need to know which oil is safe and which one you must throw out immediately. Your health is your greatest wealth, and preserving your gut health and stable blood pressure is the key to maintaining your freedom and independence. Don't let chronic inflammation from hidden sodium and irritating additives in bread steal that from you. Make the switch today. But if you've corrected the bread in your diet, are you ready to tackle the next silent danger? If you use one popular vegetable oil to cook your favorite meals, you are actively driving systemic inflammation and silently clogging your arteries. Click on the video popping up on your screen right now to find out which common cooking oil is poisoning your heart and what 2 safe fats you should use instead. Stay safe and stay independent.